Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Pyre Community RITE Night, which means of course some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then look no further. That is the place to be, and you can join said Discord group by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all the various requests you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players, exiles, mastering, songs, arenas, even Titan stars, are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode. We'll set ourselves to our default settings here, but let me know if there's anyone who would like to get us started today. And I will, before I forget, I'll jump into Discord as well. There we go. Alright. I'm all set. How are you guys doing? And thanks, Core, for the sub. Appreciate the support. How's it going? Saw the Snow Chicken Lord Mass Effect 3 reference to yesterday's stream. Good to see ya. So of course, as always, we can, if we want to, we could preemptively start strategizing, planning out how we want to set up our first match of the day, but as is often the case, feels like it is perhaps better to at least establish who is going to be in for the first match before we start doing that type of stuff. So let me know if there is anyone who would like to get us started today. I think, let's see. Yeah, as always, I can potentially jump in and be one of the first two people going. As I think we experienced last week, we had a little bit of technical issues with my microphone is extremely finicky nowadays. There are times when it just spontaneously decides not to work anymore, or at least my computer decides to stop acknowledging its existence, which functionally means that it doesn't work anymore. And that tends to happen most when I plug and unplug different things like controllers, headphones, what have you. So might be a little careful about hopping in and out repeatedly with the unplugging, replugging the controller, because that is perhaps tempting fate just a little bit, but I suppose we can at least give it a shot if that is, of course, something that we are looking to do here. But like I said, let me know if there is anyone who would like to get in to get us started. Then, of course, we can go with that. I can just fill in to the extent necessary. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Last week, what was it? We went almost a full stream without any boat rights, and then we did one at the very end. We were about to call tonight, and then we went, no, one more. We must have a boat right. And then I thought we had some particularly dramatic things happen during that, right? But my memory is a little hazy at that point. The specifics, I can't quite recall. But I suppose if there was something we were looking to start off with today, it could always be a boat, right? Make sure that we don't miss out on one of those today, rather than taking our chances. Brings me back to the days when we first implemented, or even, this might even be before we implemented the official channel point requests for arenas, when there was at least one person was extremely keen on the boat rights, to the extent to which he would deliberately change every single match to being on the boat, not for like an entire RITE night. This might have been the case before we implemented the official channel redemption stuff, but then even once we did, he would just spam that button repeatedly to the point where we had such a long queue of arena requests that it was, for all intents and purposes, non-stop boat. And that is the reason why we have the, I think it's 5 is the limit for arena requests for one stream, or I forget exactly how I set it up. It might have been a limit for how many times one individual person can request an arena per stream. Basically, for all intents and purposes, it was a way to prevent someone from just sending their one person establishing one arena for the entire RITE Night, which is kind of funny given how the origin of that was to stop us from having non-stop boats, and here we are saying, hey, maybe we like to have boats a little more often. So, well, everything is a cycle, I suppose. All loops back around at some point. One day, we're trying to get rid of the boat. Other days, we can't get enough of the boat. Alright, but still not seeing anyone volunteering, at least. Did I? Let's see. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm in Discord. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I can certainly be one of the first two people. I mean, I could go against a CPU if we really wanted to, or we could do the CPU versus CPU, which I think we've done on one or two prior occasions, and sometimes people have said that'd be kind of funny to do that, because of course, you never really know what the different CPUs are going to do strategy-wise. And wait, what if we did a customize off CPU versus CPU? And that way we truly, not only do we not know what sort of strategy the CPUs are going to use, but we don't even know what their full setups are. Maybe that's a way to do a little bit of an interesting warm-up. So if we do, keep it maximum masteries, we'll save the sermon intro for when we actually get real peoples in here. But we turn the customize off, and then we do CPU versus CPU, make it an even fight, at least from a CPU strength standpoint. So 5 versus 5, and time to make a prediction too. What's up, Core? I mean, Core, you're welcome to jump in here. I'm largely doing this just because it didn't seem like there was anyone who was ready to start us off just yet. But, well, I guess, I don't know, take your pick as to which teams you want to have the CPUs representing. True Nightwings, Pyre Hearts, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But, or, no, tell you what, let's make it especially dramatic. Let's go Nightwings against True Nightwings. I feel like that's the highest possible of stakes for this match. And also, I feel like this is, you know, perhaps an opportunity to, hold on, just 1 second. Hold on. You know, I was actually, funny thing, I was, in contact with the Supergiant Games, the developers, and they actually said they would be interested in paying us a visit, you know, stopping by. They were really appreciative of how we've been working hard to keep the multiplayer Pyre scene active, and they thought that the best way to show their appreciation would actually be to participate in a RITE Night. And they did that briefly a little while back. So, you know, I suppose this is just them kind of, you know, checking back in, which is, I mean, that's so nice of them, right? I mean, great developers in that way. So, I actually think we can get them both in here. I think we can get a couple of people from Supergiant directly. So we've got Darren on the left. Player 1 here will be the True Nightwings, and then we have Amir will be player 2 on the normal Nightwings. So yeah, I mean, take your pick as to who you think is going to emerge victorious here. I mean, we've heard that apparently Darren had some ridiculously strong sap strats, and apparently that led to some sap nerfs before the full game got released. So maybe he has some trick up his sleeve here, and he's going to be absolutely amazing. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's get going. It's true indeed. Darren, rumor has it at least, that Darren got the saps nerfed.
The True Nightwings shall confront the night.
Alright, so let's see. Well, Darren will not get any saps, though, this time. The game knows better than to give him any. He has a worm, a demon, and a cur, whereas Amir does have a sap, has Gareth, glorious, of course, getting us started off there with that plunge, and Tamitha is his final character here. So we'll see if we can figure out anything else about their setups, because this is, of course, customize off. So they're going to be experimenting a little bit here, seeing what they have to work with, as now that is Darren throwing it in for 15 with his worm. And yeah, we're actually tied at 115 apiece here, both players having gotten a little bit of extra starting Pyre life. But not exactly the same amount. They didn't deal the same amount of damage, but it did all even out. And whoa, everyone gone, except for Darren's worm, and so Darren able to throw it in for 15 here.
The true Nightwing seem to want their freedom more.
Jody taken out. Oh, she's Vengeful Vow. Okay. Either that or Barker, who was standing relatively close to her. Lots of casts. Not a lot of movement with the orb, though. But I suppose it's working here for Darren, as he once again banishes all of Amir's team, so he is once again able to get an uncontested 15 damage worm throw.
Take that, Barker.
More banishments. I mean, that is very clearly the point of emphasis for both players here. Now it's Amir, who had a little bit of more room to work with, and once again he is getting the scoring done with the most stylish man in the downside.
The orb is up.
Failer's good after these two legends are done. Whoa! Jody. Very aggressive play there. Does go down, but for a second there it looked like she was about to become a one-demon army. Tamitha. Only able to get the banishments that time. Although on the second attempt, got at least one, I think, although now Darren recovering here. Explosive temper on Barker, so it's a more right-sided defensive Barker of Swords, which I suppose does play into the play style that we've seen from these two, as it's been very cast-centric, very defensively oriented, although such aggressive casting that to the point where it blurs the line a little bit between defense and offense.
An unimpressive thrust.
As a quick 4-point throw from Amir on that occasion. Gareth. Banished others, but then got banished himself. Now it is Barker against Tamitha. Now everyone down except for Tamitha and, well, Gareth as well. Oh, Gareth would have gotten the job done there. Clearly Amir's mistake was not to rely on Gareth. Because as you can see here, Gareth will get the job done. Granted, definitely had enough time for a full 20 damage throw, and instead cut it ever so slightly short for just 19. It's a little odd. We'll see if that little bit of lost damage there catches up. Makes a difference here for either Amir or, I think Darren had a worm throw. It was sort of like that a little while back. We are back to a casting contest here. And I don't mean the Northern Realms Gwent card.
Seemingly unfair.
Jody and Barker can't decide who wants the orb. Apparently now it's gonna have to be Jody because Barker did go down. Gareth gets the job done once again. You know, it's seeming like it's not rocket science here. The answer to all of Amir's problems is simply Gareth. Shouldn't really come as a surprise, if I'm being honest. He is the most stylish man on the downside for good reason. And style, at times, can mean more than just fashion sense.
punishment for all.
Amir has cursed Darren?
Barker
But
throws
Darren has overcome this curse?
a show of strength from the Night
Not
Wings.
exactly sure what was going on there, but perhaps Amir was breaking out the cheat codes, invoking Eastlock. At least it certainly seemed that way.
One triumvirate stands
Once
unopposed.
again, opportunity here for an unopposed throw for 15 from Barker this time for Darren.
How fine.
Scurry in the middle here, as once again both players doing a whole lot of banishing. Neither player making much progress toward the opposing Pyre. As the orb at times very much does seem like an afterthought. Darren does eventually remember, oh hey, this is the thing that I'm supposed to pick up and try to score with. And in doing so, is able to get a 14-point score. Now, it is possible for Darren to finish this with one score. Would need to be Jodariel, and it would mean that
Merely a glance.
Amir would have to not have any rekindling for that to actually be a winning score. He does have a sap, so it is possible that he has some. Of course, customize off, there's always a chance there's a RITE NITE as well. But now, after a couple of scores here from Amir, suddenly any of Amir's exiles would have enough damage to finish the job, unless Darren has some unexpected source of rekindling. In this case, it would need to be a RITE NITE since he does not have any saps.
That was the last
Oh,
of
but
them.
now Darren, after having banished everyone, gets a 14 damage score there. I mean, if he had time to get Jody in there, that could have been the winning play, but opted not to go that route. Instead, we are tied at 8 apiece. So at this point, presumably any score would do the trick from any character. The only potential monkey wrench is the potential for rekindling, which is again more likely for Amir, given how he does have a sap. Well shielded, although Amir does still get his sap banished.
A bit of a blunder.
Jody. Banished, but does get it over to Gilman. Gareth. Gets the banishment.
How brazen.
Once again, both players will pick up the orb momentarily, only to immediately throw it to the opposing team so that they can start casting again, because that is very much priority number 1, 2, and 3. Scoring, let's be honest, it's not even secondary at this point. But there is who else but Gareth to finish the job.
Prevailed.
GG?
Their pyre nearly was extinguished there, but no. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright, well played. Darren and Amir, thank you both for stopping by today. Good to see ya. Insane strats. Insane style, let's be honest. Who else would score a winning plunge in sudden death? I would say overtime, although I guess overtime would probably be in the case of both players having rekindling. But point stands. Only Gareth could do that. What are you talking about? Those were 2 players. Those were the devs. Darren and Amir. I have no idea what you are talking about. Alright, well, anyways, the lads themselves, exactly. Why would you ever question such a thing? It looks like, I think it was, what? Phaler and Anor were the 2 who said they were good to get in? Yeah, Phaler says he can go, and Anor said, okay, yeah. So if that still works for you 2, let me get Steam friends up here.
Works for me.
Alright. Let me get you an invite then. Let me get an invite for Nor. If you guys could just confirm who's player 1, who's player 2. Looks like it's Phaler player 1 and Nor player 2. Alright.
Yep.
Nor, it looks like, I couldn't tell if that was Phaler setting you to the Chastity or you setting yourself to the Chastity. Are you going Nightwings today or are you going Chastity? What's the plan? Is this a coincidence? Should I read into this? Chastity? Or are you thinking you're gonna go back to Nightwings or whoever you want to play, of course. Up to you. Nightwings? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. There we are. Alright. Just wasn't quick enough. No worries. No worries. So yeah, let us know if there is anything we would like to see for our first match between Phaler and Nor today. Otherwise, of course, we can give them a warm-up. We can make it simple, straightforward. Could I re-invite you? No worries. Let's see. There you are. Alright, not seeing any requests from chat at the moment, so it looks like you guys are getting off easy here. Simple, straightforward, no requests, just take whatever you'd like. Just don't expect that to last for long.
The fate versus
Oh,
the Nightwing.
this could be an interesting way to get things started, though.
Welcome.
Also, I totally meant to turn sermon intro back on.
Who shall conduct the rites?
But anyways. For Phaler, it is a speedy Tamitha. Nor goes speedy, or rather a ninja, quick throwing stowaway. Phaler with a super portal webbed Lanthorn Raji. Then Anor will take a speedy Pamitha. Then finally, a quick throwing saluting Birdfruit is the last choice for Phaler. And Anor will go with a saluting webbed Lanthorn Tizo to perhaps counter Phaler's Crone Salute. Here we go. Our first match of the day between Phaler and Anor, and it's Phaler who's getting us started with a 20 damage plunge from his Harp Tamitha. She does not have prayer beads, though, so she's out for this round.
How comical.
That leaves just Raji back defensively against Pamitha, who
Sword right in.
maneuvers her. I'm sword right in. It's a great way to put it, because she's sword all the way around all the defenders. Looped around the pyre. Finishing with the plunge. Oh, no. Taunting Phaler.
Why, that was
And banishing all of Phaler's team, Stowaway teleports to the orb. Oh, that's not quite what Anor was looking for. But you could tell the intention was to throw it off the wall and in, and I respect that. Unfortunately, though, at least the first attempt was about as anticlimactic as it could have possibly gotten, as it went quite literally nowhere. Phaler plunges for 20. Once again, it is with Tamitha.
on its side.
She's gone now, though.
Wherever did the night wings
And everyone gone on Anor's side, so a little bit of time here for Phaler. Has that quick crone throw, courtesy of the talisman support, and that facilitates getting a 25 damage throw off that.
The orb is taken.
Tamitha with a quick counterattack for Phaler. That drops Anor down to just 15. There is Phaler's salute, and I think the only exile Anor had to counter that was the first one to get banished, so she couldn't transform back into imp form, and Phaler able to finish the job.
The scribes themselves surely have taken note.
GG.
The rite is
GG.
ended.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
Alright, and let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. The previous one was entirely up to the players. Now, admittedly, I forgot to turn sermon intro on. We've yet to have that, so at the very least, let's throw that on. Okay. I figured just a matter of time until somebody turned customize off, and Anor's doing it here, so that means, as we saw for our very first match today, randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans won't even get to see what those things are in advance, just gonna get thrown straight into the action. Could still do a song, could still do an arena if either of those are of interest. But if not, song. Anor is requesting a song on Phaler's behalf. So Phaler, whatever you are feeling like we ought to go with here, it's up to you. Thematically fitting, acceptable.
I bid you welcome, exiles. You are gathered at the Ridge of Gaul. At stake here in this rite is your salvation. Cling to whatever shred of hope you have. The fate stand prepared. Nightwings stand prepared.
Alright, here we go. Well, we do a sermon intro for the very first match, but we didn't do that this time round, so it's just making up for that, really. Well, let's see, what do we have here? So, well, Anor's getting us started with a 28 damage plunge from Barker. So, definitely some talisman support. Oh, Blackheart on one of Phaler's exiles. So we know he has a cursed talisman. Wait, that 27 damage from someone who would usually only have 20. So Phaler also has extra damage, but I missed which exile that was who did that, because almost all of Phaler's exiles look identical, because he has 1 nomad, 2 savages, including, I believe that was the Stowaway who threw that one in for 12?
Fate have gained an edge for now.
Or maybe it was Gareth? I ought to have known if it was Gareth, of course. Whereas Anor has Hedwyn, Barker, and Vorfrit. There is the extra 8 damage. Anor getting that once again on the plunge from Barker. Hedwyn to Vorfrit. Vorfrit over 1 defender and in. Plunging for 30, and with both players having all this big damage, this could go fairly quickly here. As Phaler's throwing that one in for 20. Oh, and Anor had the Crone Salute. Will Phaler get anyone back in time to stop Anor here? He will not, and so Anor will turn the table, use Phaler's trick against him, and take the win.
Aside their adversaries without too much trouble.
GG.
The rite is done.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Cyclical, I suppose. One Crone Salute on one side leads to a Crone Salute on the other side. But we'll go back to our defaults here, unless, of course, there's anything in particular you guys would like us to do for the next one. If so, let us know. Happy to make it happen. Thus is the will of the scribes. Well, as for the will of chat, I'm not seeing anything here at the moment. So that may mean it's entirely up to the players here to go with whatever they would like. And that's fine. We can certainly go that route. So let's get started.
The fate shall take on.
Alright, it's the
Night
cairn.
Winds. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
And no requests for this one, so you can take whatever you want here. Phaler goes for the Typhoon Bottle on Tizo, so if everyone is banished on his side, Anor will be slowed, unable to sprint, jump, throw, or use any other special abilities. Anor comes out and makes a statement with the first exile, a Can Singularity, on, I believe that was Tizo, or at least an imp of some variety. Phaler going double imp here, now with a Webbed Lanthorn Raji. So all imps thus far. Was either player intending to go 100% imp? Or was this merely a coincidence? Anor's going meta Jody, so the imp trend stops here. At least for Anor. But not for Phaler, as he goes Titan Tooth on Messenger Imp for the stuns. Anor will keep it to just the one imp, as she goes Headwind here to round out her team. Phaler gets us started with a 15 damage plunge from one of those imps. That was Raji. So now Phaler is defenseless, although, courtesy of that Typhoon Bottle, Anor might have infinite stamina, but couldn't really do much with it. Slowed her down considerably, long enough for Phaler to get one of those imps back, and now it's Phaler on the attack.
Banished all of them.
Edwin, is he quick enough? Not quite. At least not to get a score off of that time when Phaler was defenseless, and now it is Phaler who's doing the plunging here. Once again, a 15 damage imp score. Phaler, once again, defenseless though. Jody has the infinite stamina, but can't use it, so it doesn't make much difference. Is she quick enough though? She is, waits just long enough for Phaler to get one of the defenders back, then Jody can throw, and with that quick throw, able to get that in for the full 30 damage before Phaler could do anything to stop Jody. I That means we're tied at 70 apiece here. Jody down. Honor thinking about using the portal, and does. The Failure, largely unfazed, now has a portal very close to Honor's Pyre. Oh, but then immediately moves it. This is the trouble with having 3 imps. It's hard to keep those portals. They get in place for very long. But Failure finds himself right in front of the Pyre, no defenders next to him. Had to cut it a little bit short on the throw there, but gets it off for 12 and does still have all 3 imps, even after having done that score. That was a very dramatic Jody entrance there. The assistance of that canned singularity helping her out, and does set her up for a 30 damage throw here. Canned singularity again, triggered from Jodario going through the Tizo created portal and bringing Tizo back using Headwind's Sacred Bond ability. Failure back in possession. And goes all the way through here, plunging for 15. As we've seen before, no prayer beads. So he finds himself defenseless, but did use that Typhoon bottle, which has certainly seemed to pay off. As it slowed Honor down, though she's certainly close enough to the Pyre that she could plunge if she wanted to, but instead waiting, and wanted to go the throw route to avoid losing Jody in the next round, but instead is not able to convert. So now Honor finds herself next to the Pyre once again. Will she choose to go the same route here? Once again, does wait, but this time is successful, getting the full 30 damage throw off. Still keeps Jody, because she did not resort to plunging. That means 1 score, potentially all that Honor would need here. Could this be it? Not this time. Failure, not going down here without a fight. He plunges for 15. I don't believe he has a way to do any more than 15 damage per score, so he would need at least 2, whereas for Honor, just about anything would do the trick. And Failure is defenseless, but I don't think Jody's fast enough, at least not with the plunge, but sets up the throw to take the win.
A narrow victory, yet nonetheless commendable.
GG.
The rite is complete.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, now let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like for the next one. Honor is giving us a Flutterfly along with a Cairn. Oh, not Cairn. I was about to say, that sounds very similar to what we were just doing. Kalamer, okay. Kalamer. Gotcha. Alright, so we have Song, we have Arena, and we do now have Exiles as well, all coming from Honor. What are we looking for on the Exiles? Well, I mean, we have the Imp Arena, we have an Imp Song, and we have an Exiles request. So perhaps we know what Honor has in mind here. Perhaps she does not need to specify. Let's get started. I'm guessing we can put 2 and 2 together here.
The fate shall now face the Night Winds. Welcome.
We did, of course,
Who shall conduct the rites?
have a fairly imp-centric rite in the previous match, as Failure went 100% imp, Honor took 1, but now we have the Imp Song and the Imp Arena, which we did not have last time. And although Honor did not explicitly state what the Exiles request was for, I think we can infer fairly safely that the intention was for this to be 100% imps on both sides.
Tizo.
Certainly a time when this was probably the single most popular, at least combination, of Exile and Arena requests. But it feels like we haven't seen it quite as often as of late. Maybe I'm just making that up. Maybe I'm just not quite remembering the last time we did this, but for some reason, I feel like they haven't been quite as frequent. These triple imp matchups at the Isle.
Exile. Exile.
Right, but as we are starting to see, usually the demons, or rather the imps, specialize most in defense, but a few offensive setups here. Some imps going down all the way on the left side for the additional damage potential.
Positively brutish.
Some speedy imps, which I suppose, you could make a case as either an offensive or defensive mastery, but everyone banished on Anora's side, so time for Phalar to throw for 15, though obviously in that case that is just 15 and not an imp that had taken the extra damage potential. That can be a difference maker in the all-imp matchup, as Phalar stuns Anor, and this time does get a 25 damage imp score off. But after having plunged, does mean that Phalar is now without messenger imp, in this round at least. Trying to make it work with just 2 imps, although now finds himself defenseless. And Anor with plenty of time here, and the imp she has 25 damage, so gets good value out of that opportunity. As Phalar this time goes for full 25. This is the difference, because if Phalar's 15 damage score had instead been a 25 damage score, he would only need 1 more to finish the job here. But now he definitely still needs at least 2. Or that must be her speedy imp. That seemed awfully quick. Does help set up a 25 damage plunge, but it does mean that although Phalar does still have more Pyre life than Anor, in some ways it is almost as if they are in a bit of a draw, since both players would presumably need 2 scores.
Banished from this place.
Potentially 3 for Anor if she were to get a partial damage score, if she does have any 15 damage imps. I'm not sure if she does, or if she had taken all of the imps with the extra damage. Phalar, locked. Sets up a very dangerous portal, though. Moves that portal back slightly. Anor's will not take her far, but it does give her the infinite stamina. Phalar with the stun.
Not the messenger imp. Why, that was all of them.
I think for a second there, Phalar was trying to maintain the portal next to Anora's Pyre to make it easier to set up the score, although didn't need it on that occasion. Just went the distance for a 25 damage plunge on that occasion. Did it the hard way, but it did work out, and it now means Phalar certainly could do this with just 1 more score. Same could be said now for Anor, though. Little more leeway for Phalar, as he could potentially sneak in a quick throw, whereas for Anor, she would need the maximum damage to get the job done. But here is Phalar, and there is that winning throw.
The fate prevailed.
GG.
Adversaries came ever so close.
Well played, you two.
The ceremony is complete.
Alright, well, let's head on back then.
Until the stars align.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. That was all imps on the Imp Arena with an imp song. we will reset ourselves to our defaults here, unless, of course, there's something else in particular you guys would like for us to go for. Not seeing anything, though. So unless anyone has any last-second ideas, suppose we can always go back to just having the players take whatever they want here. So let's do that.
The fate shall confront the Nightwings. Welcome.
Alright, so we're at the nest.
Who shall conduct?
No requests. So all up to the players, and Phaler will go with a Ninja Almer for his lead. Nor will go Prayer Beads on Pamitha. Fitting for this arena, I suppose. Phaler with the Super Portal Webbed Lanthorn Raji. And an orb breaking out the nutrition stick on Volfred. Now Titan Tooth on Ignarius for stuns. And lastly, a Speedy Jodariel for an orb. Alright, so here we go. Phaler teleports to the orb, but Almer and Pamitha take each other out, or might have both knocked each other into the lava. Iggy couldn't quite make his way all the way into the pyre there, as I think Almer teleported to the orb while it was still over the lava, and in doing so, did banish himself temporarily. Phaler, though, trying to retrieve that orb back the back corner of the arena. Does now have it in his possession with Almer. Exploding sapling, a little bit off target, but Nor able to intercept the throw. Pamitha, who was about to fly over the lava, but was starting to run out of stamina. Heart pushes and didn't quite directly make it in from that, but it did make it a little bit easier to set up the Pamitha plunge, and she had prayer beads, so she is back already, although she has now been banished, along with Jodariel, leaving just the nutrition stick Volfred. And he was looking to line up the plunge, and looked like he had it just about measured out, but of course Phaler did have someone in position to make the banishment, although Jodariel wins the orb back close to Phaler's pyre, does set up a quick 13 damage throw. Almer down, Pamitha, Jody, and now Volfred down as well, and that means time for Phaler here. Can he make it happen? With Iggy, he can, for the full 30 damage, just enough time to make that. Almer's throw threads the needle here, good for 20. Almer again, no, actually it's Pamitha who got to the orb first. But on the second attempt, Almer gets the orb back and throws this one in for 20 as well. Almer's throw this time is intercepted. Over to Pamitha. Hides over the lava, but had to make her move eventually, and when she did, Phaler was ready. Now Phaler trying to brute force it with Raji, and does. Now that means it's once again Almer's turn, but he's unsuccessful. Pamitha fakes out one defender, switches into Volfred. Tried to use the nutrition stick there, although might have been a bit of a hindrance, as it just brought him further away from the Pyre and meant it took longer to get the throw off and did not have enough time to do that. Demon versus Demon. Iggy wins out on that duel. And that one as well. Knocks back the last defender, has to make the throw quick, but it's still good for 10. Almer's throw intercepted. Anor now with Pamitha. Switches to Volfred, but Volfred sacrificed. And Almer throws this one in for 20, and that means one more score, potentially all that Phaler would need here. Now, Anor does have a sap, and therefore may very well have some rekindling. We may be about to test that theory. It is 10. So Anor holding on, but at this point, one more score definitely would be enough for Phaler. Can't make it happen with Almer, at least not on that occasion, though. Pamitha is quick, but she is blocked. And Anor is defenseless. Oh, Phaler goes for the Brazen Manor that he doesn't even have to score with an entirely different character, but either way, does get the winning score.
The scribes themselves stood by their side.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, so let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. That one was all up to the players. And we are back for some more. Oh, not just customize off. No, no, no. Customize off specifically on the boat. Okay, now that's what you like to see. The maximum chaos. Perfect. Perfect. Could still do a song, but that's, I mean, that's about it. So if there is anything that we feel like captures the essence of this sort of setup, this sort of idea, then we can of course go for that. But otherwise, we can go with this for sure. So let's run with it. Let's see what we end up with this time. Will it be a well-optimized boat team, the likes of which can take advantage of the crazy boat magic? We're about to find out. For Phaler, well, he has at least one demon, a sap, and a nomad, and Anor has at least one demon as well.
Now begin.
Ooh, as we see there, that is why the boat magic plus demons is good for a little bit of extra spice, a little bit of extra action. No prayer beads on Vids Paleth, so Anor is now down that demon for this round. But Almer can follow up with a 20 damage plunge. Well-placed sapling from Anor there, courtesy of Manly. He tries to charge up the throw, but doesn't have enough time to do that. Phaler, though, loses Jody in that exchange. Jody brought back. Whoa! Jumps toward the Pyre. Didn't have the orb at the time, though. Headwind. Vanishes. Jumps over the sapling, and... Where was Jody there all along? Where did Jody come from? I did not notice Jody was over there. But she did have the extra 8 damage, for what it's worth. So a little bit of bonus power on Phaler's Demon Plunge there. But it means no prayer beads, so Jody is out in this round. Phaler brings back Palmas, but loses Headwind. Brings back Headwind right next to Anor's Pyre. Maybe that's how Jody was brought back in the previous exchange, as Phaler could have gone over to Palmas there, and in fact would have been worth 5 more points, but instead opts for the 20 damage throw from Headwind. Jody, this time goes straight in. That drops Honor down to 12. But both players have a sap, and therefore both players, of course, have the chance of rekindling. And you never know, there might always be an unexpected right light with Customize off. Can't know for certain that was a little bit of boat magic assistance on Almer's jump, though not enough to make it past the defender there. Phaler, aggressive with Headwind, but blocked and banished. Honor checking for the Brazen Manor, does have it, but can't quite get the score to connect with Vids Palette. Almer back. Some big jumps. Oh, but not quite enough time to finish the throw there. Headwind. Banished by Vids Palette. Vids Palette banished by Palmas. Here is Palmas. Headwind would have been brought back, but he respawned the normal way. And suddenly, Phaler defenseless here. Honor sets up the Brazen Manor, but in doing so, does give Phaler some time to get 2 defenders back. It's a bit of a trade-off there. Perhaps did not end up working out, as Phaler able to score, but we see Honor has 50 rekindling. So plenty of Pyre life left for Honor. She's on the 2nd life bar, though. Phaler still on his 1st. Phaler may also have some rekindling here. Aggressive maneuvers from Vids Palette. Did have the Brazen Manor for a bit there, but I think Honor has to reset it. Oh, and the aura is big enough. Is that an extra presence on Vids Palette of some variety? Because there weren't any other teammates nearby, I don't think. Yet, Vids Palette's aura was definitely bigger than Jodariel's. Interesting. Here's Headwind. His throw is intercepted by Almer, though. Almer with a big jump, and that triggers Phaler's rekindling, though in his case it's just 10. Demons take each other out. So at this point, Phaler needs at least a couple of scores, or likely just 1. Here is a great opportunity for Phaler, and yes, does have that extra damage. Drops Honor down to just 12, so for all intents and purposes, we are more or less tied here. Either player needing 1 more score, and there it is.
The Nightwings prevail.
GG.
They somehow managed to scrape by despite their adversaries' efforts.
Well played, you two.
The right is complete.
What's up, Artemis Fowl? How's it going? Good to see ya. Coming in with the Exiles request. Pam wave to you as well. Battle of the Smole. Both players get a worm, an imp, and a rookie. Alright. Battle of the Smole it shall be. Is there anything else we'd like to see? We have Exiles here, but of course could do any of a number of other things to combine with that. It is a worm, imp, and rookie. That's pretty specific. I mean, it's just one category is what I mean. It's just Exiles, but it is a fairly specific Exiles request. It's all the smallest classes. Yeah, I don't know. There's the... What is it? There's that image at the very end of the game where you see all the Exiles with their back to the camera staring off into the sunset or something like that. And it's kind of surprising. There are some... Because you see everyone next to each other. And some of the Exiles are bigger than you would have thought. Namely the worms. Little taller than you would have thought. Oh, but yes, let's turn Customize back on. Good call. Looks like that's it, though, in terms of requests, so let's get started. Trying to think of which other... I think it's the worm in particular. You see Gilman with his back to the camera, and it is surprising how big he is relative to the other Exiles. I'm trying to think if there's anyone who is surprisingly small. I feel like Bertrude
Who shall conduct
is shorter than you would have expected. Okay, Nora looking to play just a couple more, then looking to swap out? Okay. So if there is anyone in chat who would like to get in on the action soon, it seems Nora might be looking to make that switch. So prepare yourself accordingly if you would like to get in soon. So for this one, it is Worm, Imp, and Rookie. Baylor starts with the Exploding Deluge, so his Worm is set and ready to go. Smallest glasses, biggest arena. Fitting, I suppose. Or also starting with the Worm here, going with the Thorned Knot on Gilman.
exile?
Now Phelan with Web Lanthorn Raji. And Prayer Beans Rookie is Anor's second choice. That means Phaler still has Rookie left as his third exile. He'll go Prayer Beans on him, and Anor still has an Imp. So she'll go Super Portal, Web Lanthorn, Tizo. Alright, here we go. A match with the smallest of exiles on both sides. A little bit of a different setup, at least from a mastery standpoint, I think, on the Worms in particular. Anor, using her Worm, speeds past the first defender, gets the orb back, but Phaler retrieves, and now uses the especially mobile Rookie to plunge here for 20. I believe he put Prayer Beads, yes he did, on that Rookie, so Rookie is still here for this round. Phaler now going with the throw, this time a quick one though, just 8 damage from his Worm. Anor to Rookie. Runs out of stamina, gets it back, uses the triple hop, but doesn't have enough momentum to make it in there. Phaler also, I think, ran out of stamina at the wrong time there. Was not able to jump past the defender. Phaler with now a very dangerous portal, should he win back possession. Ooh, but Anor with a well-timed stunning claim. Is it enough to set up Rookie, though? With such a large arena, he had a lot of ground to cover. It was not quite enough, even if the execution was there. But there is that big portal I was talking about. Phaler able to go through it and more or less get an immediate score out of it. Phaler gets the stamina back, hops, and only needs one to make it over the defender and in. Phaler building some serious momentum here. Goes for the throw from his Worm, and there's just enough on it to make it in for 11. Don't think, well, if Phaler has C's chance on his Worm, and I'm not sure if he does, then it might be possible for him to get enough damage in one go, but otherwise it would still require two separate scores. It nearly had one right there. Nor able to get the last second stop. But Nor's Rookie blocked and banished. Battle of the Worms. Phaler does have Seize Chance on his Worm, we just saw it there, so it is possible for Phaler to get enough damage with his Worm to do this with just one score, but we'll see if he tries to force the issue. Now it's Phaler doing the stunning... Wait, no? Both players trading stunning claims. Not exactly sure what the sequence of them was, but both of them have now been used, and they are, of course, only possible to use once per round, so we will not see any of those for a little while longer. Rookie starts the runway early there. Phaler with a lot of room to go here, well, except that Rookie happened to spawn just the right time and just the right place. Nor with a dangerous portal there. Does take her close to Phaler's Pyre, but not close enough. Phaler also getting awfully close, but not close enough. But Nor on the next attempt, I think she might have had the angle there, but went past the Pyre. Had to double back, and by the time she had done that, the opportunity was not quite as good as it was initially. I think Phaler was going for the reverse psychology no jump on that occasion, but Nor was not tricked. She was still able to get the stop. Rookie with Nor on one side. He goes down. Now it's Rookie on Phaler's end. Gets past one defender, but Nor able to recover. Gilman. Throw lands for 7. Nor again with Gilman. This time not quite quick enough on the throw to get that off. Phaler blocked just before hitting the mark with Rookie. Now it's Nor with her Rookie, and she does make it all the way in. She also took Prayer Bead, so he is back. Oh, and huge implosion takes out the entirety of Nor's team, but Gilman returns, and thankfully so for Nor. Oh, and well-timed stunning claim, but didn't quite get the timing right, at least initially with Rookie running into the obstacle, the barrier, although still able to get the job done. Plunging for 20, and now Nor reversing the momentum that Phaler had built initially. Gilman trying to outrun the opposing Deluge. Here is Deluge. He explodes. And Nor just has Gilman, but he is out of position. So that means Phaler able to plunge, and Nor sitting on precisely 1 Pyre life. So needless to say, 1 score definitely all that Phaler would need here. Will it come from Rookie? Not this time. Rookie for Nor is blocked and now banished as well, and Nor with just 1 imp defensively. Although the stunning claims do give Nor time to get some defenders back. Phaler jumps past and jumps in for the win.
The fate prevails.
GG.
Perhaps they do deserve their freedom after all.
Well played, you two.
The rite is ended.
Alright, now let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. And as Nor was saying before, it seems like she's looking to swap out in the relatively near future. So if there is anyone who would like to get in on the action, then let us know and get yourself ready to go, because we may be calling your name soon. But if there is anything we'd still like to see between Phaler and Nor, then this may be one of, if not our last chance to make that happen today. So let us know. We did just have a specific request for all the smallest exiles in the previous one. A combination of a worm, a cur, and an imp. And coincidentally, we happen to find ourselves on the largest arena. Alright, not seeing any requests though. So, might just be up to you two to take whatever you want for this next one then.
The fate shall now face the Night Wings. Welcome.
Alright, so no requests from chat.
Who shall conduct the rites?
You can take whatever you want here. So Phaler will go with a speedy saluting Vorfrit. I know we're at the nutrition stick Volfred. Phaler will go Webbed Lanthorn on Raji. And Speedy Bertrude, Fernor. Last choice for Phaler is Titan Tooth Ignarius. And Enor will match that with Titan Tooth on Pamitha. Alright, so here we go. Enor off to a quick start here with Volfred and nearly walked that one straight in. But instead passed it back to Bertrude and she nearly walked that in as well. But she stopped. That leaves just Pamitha back defensively, at least until Volfred makes his return. And he's able to stop Ignarius, although with the Titan Tooth, Ignarius gets a little bit of time to work here. Enor sees an opportunity and seizes that opportunity with a 23 damage Crone Throw. Volfred eyeing the blink into the Pyre, but Phaler had it pretty well covered there. Iggy knocks back one defender, and that's the only defender right now, but it's the only defender that Enor needed. Phaler now with Raji. Throw intercepted. Now Bertrude looking to jump straight in, but she's blocked and vanished as well. Phaler with his Crone, and it's Vorfrit getting the 30 damage plunge. Volfred rushed down, as was Ignarius. And Phaler momentarily defenseless, now defenseless once again. Means time for Pamitha. Ooh, Enor went the throwing route and nearly ran out of time there as Ignarius was spawning back in. So she had to cut it a little bit short there, just 11 damage. But everyone down once more. Phaler, his team does take a long time to come back from banishment. A lot of low hope exiles. So that means more times like this when Enor has free opportunities to score on that occasion for 20 damage from a Harp Throw. Pamitha with the banishment. Now Vorfrit, very quick. Not quick enough to dodge the opposing Crone. Now it's Iggy's turn.
Too slow, Ignarius.
Except Volfred comes back in time to recover. He gets cornered.
The orb is taken.
Now perhaps it's Pamitha's turn. Iggy. Oh, stunned. And Anor nearly able to make it in with Pamitha there, but not quite. And that is an intimidating sight to see. A speeding Ignarius with infinite stamina. He rushes straight in. Oh, and Phaler had his Crone Salute ready to go. So no one to stop this 30 damage Crone throw, and that means Anor has dropped down to just 10 Pyre life. Does have a sap. May have some rekindling. Here comes Phaler. Quick throw, and there is the rekindling. It's just 10, which means at this point, one score almost certainly. All that Phaler would need. Here comes Ignarius. And that is game.
The fate prevailed.
GG.
And what a crushing victory it was.
Well played, you two.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright, so let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And I know Anor was saying she was looking to swap out right around now. So do we have anyone who would be up for taking Anor's spot here? If not, don't know. I mean, it is early. Certainly earlier than we would usually wrap things up, so it'd be good to can stay for a little bit. Okay, I mean, I don't want to pressure you into staying any longer or staying up any later than you would like. But if you are good for a couple more, I guess we could do... I mean, of course, like we said, if anyone would like to jump in and take Anor's spot, then at least that makes it such that we are no longer forcing Anor to stay any longer than she would like to stay. I don't want to make her do that. But if you are good to stick around for a little bit longer, Anor, then we could do one more of just sort of an open-ended... If anyone from chat does have anything in mind, we could go for that. And then if we still don't have anyone who's looking to take your spot, then maybe at that point we do an early liberation rite. It would be a fairly short rite night in that case, but you know, perhaps just aren't that many people in and around today looking to play. We do a couple more free ones? Okay. Alright then. In that case, then let us know if there is anything we'd like to see setup-wise for this. And if not, then we can of course just have the players take whatever their preferred setups might be. And Anor says, well, why not? Oh! Okay. Go big or go home, not just customize off. We are back to a customize off on the boat. Now, last time we did do this, we did get precisely one demon per side, which was a good sight to see, but only time will tell if we get similar fortune this time round, or if we get a bunch of exiles who are not so great at maximizing the boat chaos. But let's go see.
The fate shall now face the Night Wing.
Alright, well, it's at least one demon for Phaler, and at least one demon for an Orc. So there you have it. It's an Orlek for Phaler, even. He does have a worm. We'll see if there's any synergies there with Orlek, a way to get him back from banishment more easily. As Anor, speaking of worms, does get us started with a 15 damage worm plunge. In Anor's case, it's Vids, a quote-unquote normal demon, not Orlek. That is, I was about to say, seemingly an especially fast harp, but it's not as if that's a Tailwind Crest harp, because we just saw that, well, there's Leech on the talisman. And Anor plunges for 30 with Vizpaleth. No prayer beads on her, though. Phaler with I'm telling you, this Tamitha, maybe it's just she's taking advantage of the boat magic, but seems awfully quick. And Orta, whoa! There's an Oralek plunge. You just wish that it was initiated from the furthest back puddle, because it certainly looked like Oralek was going to have the airtime to make it all the way in from there. Would have loved to have seen that as a full range of the arena dunk. But there's time yet in this match for that to happen. Phaler, once again with a 20 damage harp plunge along with 10 leech. It does mean that Phaler can now go the Oralek route. A little bit off target there. Instead, it's going to have to settle for a 15 damage worm plunge. And Nor with her worm. Back to Vizpaleth. Checks for the Brazen Manor. Don't remember if we've seen whether Nor has it or not. Doesn't look like she does on Vizpaleth. Ooh, and Vizpaleth vanished just before she can make it in. But here's Oralek. He uses the boat magic. Not quite the same dramatic effect, but it is still enough to get Oralek in here for 25, and it means that Phaler might just need one more score. And there it is.
The fate prevailed.
GG.
They overwhelmed their adversaries utterly. The rite is done.
Well played, you two. And I mean, we continue to have at least decent luck with the customized off-boat matches, as now we are 2 for 2,
The next rite.
with each player getting at least one demon, which again is generally the type of class that performs best on the boat, or at least is most positively impacted by the boat. But there are, as I think we started to see there, still some other classes that can certainly benefit as well. I think that might have had something to do with how Phaler was getting the extra speed on his harp. So we'll reset to our defaults, but let us know if there's anything else we'd like to do for this one, or if there's anyone else who would like to take an Ore spawn. As we were saying, an Ore's looking to swap out in the relatively near future if there is anyone who would like to get in on the action. Otherwise, if not, then what we may look to do is have this be our last quote-unquote normal rite in which we take requests from chat before we go into the Liberation Rite, just that we aren't forcing an Ore to stay too long, too late. Not seeing any chat requests here, though. So this one, I suppose, we'll just leave up to the players. I think there's still at least 1 or 2 arenas we haven't seen today. Yeah, I can think of at least 2.
The fate.
This was not one of them, but I will never complain
The night wings.
about being at the Pit of Malith.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
There certainly is plenty of potential to do some interesting things here. Maybe not quite to the same extent as there is on the boat, but I think this is definitely number 2 on that list. As Phaler goes for a quick throwing Bertrude. Nor goes for a ring on Pamethus. Keep your eyes peeled. Presumably, Nor is going to put a second ring on somebody else. Phaler goes Web Lanthorn on Raji. Apparently, the Harp Sisters have made up. because it is Tamitha who is the second ring holder here.
Choose someone.
As Phaler will go back to the Titan Tooth Ignarius in the third spot. And Anor will finish with a Titan Tooth on Zoxiana. Alright, so here we go. Anor with Zoxiana, and Zoxiana making it in here for a 20 damage plunge to get things started. Anor does have that infinite stamina, at least at the beginning of the round, courtesy of the rings. That's not enough to get Tamitha in, and now it is just Tamitha. She's down, but Tamitha comes back. Not enough, though, to stop Phaler from plunging for 15 with Raji of all exiles, Anor off the wall and in for 20. Perhaps going for some pinball harp strats. But Phaler goes the direct route, plunging for 30 with his crone. No prayer beads on her though, so she's now gone for this round. And Anor defenseless at the moment. Does get Tamitha back now. Phaler with a somewhat dangerous portal, but Anor building speed by bouncing off those walls, almost enough to make it in, but Phaler in position to stop and get the stun with Ignarius. Ignarius through the portal, and doesn't have to go far to leap in here for 30. That means one score potentially, all Phaler needs. And there it is.
They vastly outperformed their adversaries.
GG.
The ceremony is complete.
Well played, you two. Alright, now let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And again, let us know if anyone does want to jump in here to take Anor's spot, because Anor's saying she probably needs to head out pretty soon, and unless we do have anyone to take her place, then this may very well turn into an early liberation rite. Possibly right here, right now. So speak now, or forever hold your liberation freedom? It does seem that perhaps that is what we will go for here. Seeing no one who objects, I think it's time. Early, yes, but we'll go for it. Fall of Solium, Sermon Intro on, we'll go Nightwing's version, Never to Return. This will be our final rite of the night in that case. No requests from chat for this one. Both players just going to finish things off in style. So let's go.
Hear me, exiles. Welcome to the Fall of Solium. You have this opportunity to prove your worth. Know that the scribes themselves are watching. The Fate, stand ready. Nightwing, stand ready. Who shall conduct the rites?
Alright, so as we said, getting a bit of an early liberation rite for this one, but this will be our final rite of the night. No requests, so both players taking their preferred teams here as Phaler goes with a Ninja Almer. And Nor will start with a speedy Bertrude.
Exile.
Web Lanthorn Raji, second choice for Phaler. Then Anor will take a power casting Headwind. Phaler going full Fate here, with a Titan Tooth on Dalbert as his final choice. And Or will finish with the Webbed Lanthorn Zoxiana. Alright, so here we go, our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. Phaler on the left representing the Fate, Anor on the right representing the Nightwings. Best of luck to you both. And there it is.
Have proved their worth.
GG.
Their adversaries they defeated utterly.
Well played, you two.
Thus ends the Liberation Rite.
And as we were saying, that will be our final rite of the night. A little bit early, I know, but a good one to finish it on nonetheless. So I, for that reason, am going to hop out of Discord, but I will catch you guys next time. And let me bump them out of Steam Remote Play if they haven't left already. No, they're good. They know. They know. Well, thank you all for watching. As we were saying, that was our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites today and everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. This was, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night, and if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then the best way to do so is by joining the Rite Club Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. My name is Lids, I'm hosting these Rite Nights, and our streaming schedule is Friday nights, we're doing Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, Saturdays, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and then Sundays, obviously, Pyre multiplayer. Then Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, in addition to occasionally doing some other games every now and again, and there is one that we are going to be having a video for very soon, and I think you guys are going to like it quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to seeing how people react to that one, and may very well look to do a bit more of it, depending on just how much you guys like it. So be on the lookout for that, but if you haven't done so yet already, of course you can also hit the follow button to get a notification for when I go live. Is to follow me on Twitter @LidsVids. I post there when I go live as well, but actually the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is by joining my Discord, which you can do by clicking on... Did I spell that correctly? I did. That link, right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.